Hello, everybody. This is Ben with Siro here to show you guys the new Siro Scorecards, our exciting new feature that helps sales leaders like you drive winning sales behaviors across your team. As sales leaders, we face many common challenges. Some examples being, how do we evaluate our reps across a consistent rubric? How do we quickly identify top performers and coaching opportunities? And how do we understand which sales behaviors impact revenue the most? Siro Scorecards is your new AI-powered command center to answer all these questions. What's unique about Siro Scorecards is that it is a single pane of glass. The standard in the industry right now for a technology that allows you to record, transcribe, analyze all of your field sales conversations is diving directly into a ride along. We think that is not the most efficient path here. You should have a single pane of glass that helps you really quickly identify what the highest leverage opportunities are to get in and coach your team and then coach from there, as opposed to the quote unquote random coaching that happens if you just dive into a recording. We also thought a ton about this and realized that what's important about leveraging analytics in a tool is having it be a single pane of glass. Gone are the days of hopping, insight to insight, analytic page to analytic page to try to string together an idea of where you stand to gain and what the highest leverage opportunities are to coach. Now it is in a single pane of glass with Siro Scorecards. So I'll take you through it. What you see here is on this first screen, essentially the organization at a whole. And we can unpack the three major categories right here that we're trying to measure across all of our conversations, what a perfect conversation sounds like in the field. We've got process adherence, sales skills, communication. You can add or delete whatever you want. This is a completely custom product. Let's dial into sales process adherence though. Maybe I'm trying to understand across my teams, which all roll up to this overall score here, how we're doing in the field. And what this helps me really quickly identify is not only what teams I need to coach on what, so how I coach my leaders to coach their reps or design consultants, but also what trends are happening across the organization. We can see here yellow across the board for price presentation. So this, in a matter of 10 seconds, helps me understand what my biggest opportunity as a leader of leaders is to coach my team on, as opposed to just guessing and checking, going in, listening to 5 ride-alongs and hoping that I've found the thing that I should coach on. The data is all here in one screen. What this also allows you to do is hop into a specific team to understand where they could improve a little bit. We'll hop into Team Phila here. And when you click into an individual team at this level, what you can really quickly understand is how they compare to the organization as a whole. And see the differentials, AKA where the biggest gaps are or where they're doing better on average than others. We can see here that the agenda is the number one positive differential for Team Phila, but there's a lot of work to do on this pre-close right here. They're 41 points below the average across the organization. So maybe we hop into Team Phila. When we're at the team level, which you can switch over to over here, you can really quickly understand how your reps roll up to the ultimate score for this team. So we can click into process adherence here and do the same thing that we just did, but at a team level with reps. And I think we're pretty consistently seeing here that pre-close is still the thing we struggle with the most. And Cheryl's actually the one that struggles the most with the pre-close. So maybe that's where I want to spend my time, and where I'm just getting into coaching Cheryl because I know that she has asked for some help. But we get a similar view here, right? We can see what the biggest differentials are. I can coach on the thing that will be the highest impact, right? And really focus on that, drive change through that, and then focus on the next thing versus the random coaching. All right, I know we need to work on the pre-close. Let's hop into some of our recordings right here. This brings us to a page of all of her recordings that contain pre-close. I'm generally looking for some of the lower scores, right? Areas of opportunity. Maybe I just click into this first example right here. And it brings us right to an example of where this pre-close is happening. Now, we at Siro like to lead coaching with positivity. Maybe this is a perfect example of Cheryl doing the pre-close really well from an appointment earlier in the week. What I'll do here is come in and leave a comment on this snippet of Cheryl's pre-close. Cheryl, this is a great job doing the pre-close. I want you to make sure that you're covering this every single time in every single appointment that you have, because you can see how this led to an awesome outcome here. And I've realized that you've not been doing this. So make sure to listen to this and implement it back into your process. That is the beauty of Siro Scorecards. You can very quickly understand where you should be coaching versus random coaching and leaving 5 comments on 5 different things in a ride along, and then very quickly, in a matter of literal seconds, minutes, get into those moments.